Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm Ashraf Ibrahim, and welcome to a brand new episode packed with fascinating and useful info about one of the most controversial creatures in nature, snakes. Yep, snakes, those creatures that make many of us shudder just hearing their name. Yet, they play a massive role in keeping our environment in balance. If this is your first time tuning in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. All right, let's dive in and learn about snakes, what they are, why they exist, and what would happen if they vanished from the world completely.
Snakes, who are they? Snakes are cold-blooded reptiles, meaning their body temperature depends on their surroundings, unlike us humans who maintain a constant body heat. Their bodies are covered in scales, which act like natural armor, protecting them from scratches and injuries. What sets snakes apart from other reptiles is that they don't have limbs, no legs, no arms, and they also lack external ears and eyelids. Yes, you heard that right. Their eyes are always open because they can't blink. Plus, their forked tongues act like a radar, picking up scents in the air to detect prey or danger. Snakes come in all shapes and sizes. Some, like the anaconda or boa constrictor, can weigh up to 250 kilos and grow longer than 10 meters, while others, like the blind snake, weigh mere grams and measure just centimeters. The diversity in the snake world is mind-blowing, from tiny to gigantic, and they're found almost everywhere. Deserts, forests, swamps, you name it. Well, except for places like Antarctica or super cold islands like Iceland. In winter, snakes enter a long period of dormancy, or what we call hibernation. They seek out cozy spots, like rock crevices or underground burrows, to wait out the cold. When spring arrives and temperatures rise, they wake up and become active again. That's when they often cross paths with humans, especially in agricultural areas or villages near their natural habitats.
Why do snakes exist? Here's a big question. What's the point of snakes? Why did nature create a creature that scares so many people and can even harm them? The truth is, snakes have a vital role in nature, and without them, the environment could face serious disruptions. Let's break down how snakes keep the circle of life spinning. Snakes in the food chain. Snakes play two key roles in the food chain. Sometimes they're the predator, and sometimes they're the prey. They're a crucial link connecting different living creatures. As predators, snakes feed on things like rodents, mice and rats, insects, small birds, frogs, and even other reptiles. This helps control the populations of these species, preventing them from multiplying to levels that could harm the environment. Let me tell you a real story from Florida, USA, specifically in the Southeast. A group of people working at a pet store noticed a bunch of snakes living in nearby crevices. Without much thought, they decided to get rid of them. They teamed up with locals and wiped out dozens of snakes, completely clearing the area. At first, everything seemed fine. But then, disaster struck. Rats started invading the area in massive numbers. These rodents devoured everything – crops, wooden structures, and even caused structural damage to homes. The locals tried to control the problem, but the rats were too fast. The issue persisted for 2 full years, costing thousands of dollars and hundreds of hours to manage the rat invasion and repair the damage. That's when people realized the snakes had been doing an incredible job in silence. They were keeping the rat population in check, maintaining the ecological balance without anyone noticing. If those snakes had still been around, this catastrophe wouldn't have happened. This story proves that snakes, scary as they may seem, are like silent soldiers protecting the environment.
Snakes as prey. Snakes don't just eat, they get eaten too.
They're a vital food source for other animals, like birds of prey, hawks and owls, mammals like raccoons, foxes, mongooses, and coyotes, and even larger snakes like the king snake or king cobra, which prey on smaller snakes. If snakes suddenly disappeared, these animals would lose a major food source, which could throw the entire food chain out of whack. They'd have to find other prey, impacting other species and creating a domino effect across the ecosystem. Here's an example. If snakes vanished, hawks that rely on them as a primary food source would start eating more rabbits or small birds. This would reduce rabbit populations, which in turn would affect predators like wolves that feed on rabbits. It's like a chain reaction. Snakes disappearing could disrupt everything in the environment.
Snakes and disease control. Rodents don't just destroy crops and homes, they also carry dangerous diseases like the plague, hantavirus, and salmonella. By eating rodents, snakes help keep their numbers in check, reducing the spread of these diseases. There's a historical story said to have happened during the time of Avicenna, Ibn Sina, the great scientist. During a plague outbreak in a certain region, Avicenna noticed that rats were the main carriers of the disease. He advised people to encourage snakes, venomous or not, to live nearby to eat the rats and reduce their numbers. The plan worked. The rat population dropped and the plague gradually faded. Snakes, without anyone intending it, helped save thousands of lives from a deadly epidemic. This isn't just a thing of the past. Even today, snakes play a similar role in agricultural areas. Rats and mice destroy crops and spread diseases to livestock and humans. Snakes eat them, reducing the damage without the need for human intervention or harmful chemical pesticides.
Venom, good or evil? When we hear snake venom, the first thing that comes to mind is danger, something that can kill. And that's true. Venom from snakes like cobras or rattlesnakes can be deadly in many cases. But venom isn't just harmful. It has another side that's incredibly beneficial when used correctly. Snake venom is a complex mix of dozens of compounds, proteins, peptides, enzymes, and other substances. Some are harmful, but others are remarkably useful when processed scientifically.
Medical uses of snake venom. Scientists have discovered that snake venom can be used to treat a wide range of diseases. Here are some examples. Cancer and tumors. Venom from certain snakes, like the Cerastes viper or Microvipera in North Africa, contains compounds that help inhibit the growth of cancerous tumors. Researchers are using these compounds in cancer treatment studies. Heart disease and blood pressure. Some venom components help treat high blood pressure, heart attacks, and strokes. For example, the drug captopril, used for blood pressure, was developed from the venom of the Brazilian pit viper jararaca. Neurological disorders. Certain venom compounds aid in treating diseases like Alzheimer's and managing chronic pain. Diabetes. Some venom components improve the body's response to insulin, making them useful for diabetes treatment. Antibiotics. Some venom compounds are used to create antibiotic-like drugs that fight drug-resistant bacteria. Cosmetics. Snake venom is used in skincare creams and anti-aging products. These compounds help tighten the skin, boost its glow, and reduce wrinkles. Most importantly, scientists develop antivenom from snake venom to protect people, especially children, from venomous snake bites. This is critical in impoverished areas of Africa and Asia, where venomous snakes are common.
Antivenom is made by injecting tiny amounts of venom into animals like horses, then extracting antibodies from their blood to produce the serum.
How do we benefit from venom? Of course, we don't just drink venom. Scientists isolate its components, taking only the beneficial parts. They conduct years of lab experiments to ensure safety before using them in medicines or treatments. The process is long, but the results are astonishing. The venom we once feared is now saving lives.
Not all snakes are venomous. Here's an important point. Not all snakes are venomous. Out of about 2,800 known snake species worldwide, only about 10% produce venom. That means 90% of snakes are completely harmless and won't hurt you. Venomous snakes like cobras, rattlesnakes, or black mambas are the ones we fear, but others like garden snakes or water snakes are calm and harmless. Some use methods like constriction, like boas and anacondas, to catch prey instead of venom.
Snakes and ecological balance. Snakes aren't just scary creatures like we see in movies. They're silent soldiers maintaining ecological balance. Without them, nature could descend into chaos. Rodents would multiply uncontrollably. Crops would be destroyed, diseases would spread, and animals that feed on snakes would suffer. Even if we're scared of them, we have to appreciate the incredible role they play. If snakes disappeared, the environment would face a major imbalance. Rodents would surge, bringing diseases and agricultural destruction. Birds of prey and animals that rely on snakes would lose a key food source, disrupting the entire food chain.
In conclusion, nothing in nature was created without purpose. Every creature, no matter its appearance or behavior, has a role to play. Snakes, despite topping the list of terrifying creatures, provide immense benefits to the environment and humanity. Whether it's controlling rodent populations, serving as food for other animals, or having their venom used to treat serious diseases like cancer and diabetes, snakes are an essential part of biodiversity. Without them, the environment would lose its balance, and humans would face problems that could have been avoided if snakes kept doing their quiet work. If you've got a question or a topic you're curious about, drop it in the comments below, and we'll answer you, or maybe even make a whole episode about it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace and blessings.